All right. Welcome everybody. Today's session that you're joining is about studying in the Northeast. And I'm going to pass it immediately to our presenters. Abdul, go ahead and take it away.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining us here tonight to learn more about studying in the Northeast region. My name is Abdul Aziz. I will be representing CUNY Brooklyn College. I will be co-presenting this session with my colleagues Andrews, representing University of Maine, and Rafi from Suffolk University. Northeast has 11 states with many important historical landmarks and beautiful coastlines. The geography of Northeast consists of mountains, valleys, rolling hills, lakes, and sprawling coastlines. Along the Atlantic Ocean, the Appalachian Mountains stretches from the northern Maine all the way to the southern East region, um, and includes New Hampshire's Mount Washington. Great cities in the Northeast gives you great vibe of the great city, and then as far as town vibes as well. For example, New York City, the largest city in the United States, is the home of Statue of Liberty, Central Park, and Empire State Building. I would encourage all of you guys, when you get the chance, definitely visit all the states in the Northeast, or definitely New York, Massachusetts, which has great history rooted in you can learn about the Pilgrims, Plymouth Rock, and see the oldest park in the country, the Fenway Park. And then you have the Hemisphere is a popular state for free tech shopping, enjoying life of and the free spirit of the local people. And you have Vermont, one of the greenest state in the country, great for nature lovers. And Maine, great for vacation. Land is ranked as the safest state in the USA, famous for lobsters, beautiful nature, and relaxed lifestyles. Northeast is also known for its many sports teams such as the Red Sox, Yankees, Patriots, Nationals, Celtics, Sixers, the Knicks, the Nets, and more. And over the years, NHL has become a huge sport in both professional and collegiate level. As for recreation, the Northeast is a popular ski area and has many hiking trails. In the summer, Cape Cod, New Hampshire, and Maine are very popular vacation spots. When you think about the Northeast, definitely consider studying in the CUNY system. The CUNY system is City University of New York, which started in 1847. And the university has 25 campuses across the 5 boroughs, 11 senior colleges, 7 community college, 7 graduate honors professional schools, serving 275,000 students and representing over 205 countries. Along with the CUNY schools, you have the great institutions such as the NYU's, Columbia's, and more. Now I'm going to pass it on to my colleague Rafi to discuss more about the Northeast.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you, Jenica. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in this session. Like Abdul mentioned, my name is Rafi Moroy. I work at Suffolk University, located in the city of Boston, Massachusetts. One of the things I wanted to start to talking about is maybe just some ideas of the connectivity of the Northeast Corridor. What we trying to represent in this part of my presentation, or my part of the presentation, is just how well connected the Northeast is in the United States. You know, it stretches from the north of Maine all the way down to maybe the central parts of the Atlantic coast of the United States, in Washington D.C., Virginia, and all of these different areas. And it is very well connected. You know, there's an extensive railroad system that connects all the major states. It is possible to take a train all the way from Maine to Washington D.C., as well as to the inner parts of the Northeast through Connecticut and New York State and New Hampshire and Vermont. And that's important because I feel like it's one of the things that makes it, a unique educational opportunity in which you are able to transform and maybe your experience from one area to the other by maybe, I don't know, different number of exchange opportunities that sometimes exist, or just, combining an undergrad master's combination, different things that you're able to do. The Northeast is very well connected in terms to the rest rest of the world. There's major airports like Boston, like the two airports in New York City, including those in New Jersey, like Philadelphia, Washington D.C., and Dulles. So there's probably, I think we didn't weren't able to find the exact number, but close to probably 500 flights that connect the rest of the world to all these cities. Boston itself counts with about almost 100 flights that connect directly to cities all over the world, making accessing the Northeast quite easy. Many times it'll just be one flight rather than two or three or multiple connections before you actually make into the area. A circuit of interstate highways that make it also easy to transport them yourself from one area of the Northeast to the other. And as an example, given that I am from Boston and know, very popular for our students to take an inexpensive bus to New York City, and even though they're not studying there, they're able to visit and maybe gain some of the experiences that a major metropolitan city like New York would also have available to that. So again, that connectivity of the world, that connectivity to the rest of the region is something that I think is unique and quite beneficial for students. We've decided to also divide ourselves into different states to sort of present them to you guys as a summary of the Northeast. So I'm going to start with Massachusetts, my hometown, which is a very unique place in terms of higher education. It's ranked fourth in the nation. Oh, sorry, I just noticed a typo there, but it's fourth in the nation for the most international students enrolled in the United States. And this is a quite of a unique factor, because considering the fact that we're not a large state, as you can see, our population is only about 6 million. It's pretty great to be in that number four category. I believe the others are New York State, California, and Texas. So it is quite a unique situation for Massachusetts. 114 colleges and universities and institutions of higher education, which makes one of the highest, um, um, densities of institutions within the United States. That's why Boston, Massachusetts are usually colloquially called America's college town, known for a number of other industries. So it's not just higher ed. There is a huge biotech component, bioengineering, pharmaceutical, and this provides that experiential learning, that ability for you to be able to do internships and be able to partake in what's going on, outside of academia, in the city of Boston, a major city for research. There's a lot of research hospitals, a lot of institutes that are formed itself here that are able to do that. So again, that strong experiential component is definitely Massachusetts. I'm now going to move on over to Connecticut. So we'll talk a little bit about what, again, colloquially speaking, America's hometown, because so much of sometimes, a suburban lifestyle can be found in Connecticut. But Connecticut is also a good source of higher ed, 30 colleges and universities in the state of Connecticut. The capital city being Hartford, which does have a number of different also opportunities for experiential learning through some of the finance industry, known for manufacturing, known for biosciences, aerospace and defense. There's actually some specific industries that are available for there. Still also a small state in terms of population size, but with some great advantages. For example, the number four state for opportunities for those with advanced degrees. So Connecticut has a lot to offer, and it's very strategically located. Close to Boston, close to New York City, close to some of the surrounding states. So very well interconnected in itself. I'm now going to move over to Rhode Island to talk a little bit about that. Rhode Island is the smallest state in the union. It is a tiny little state, kind of cornered right there between Massachusetts and Connecticut, but it packs a lot. It actually is a state that has a lot to offer in terms of tourism, in terms of visiting opportunities, in terms of different areas. Very small population, 1.6 million, but again, a good amount of higher ed institutions, 13 colleges and universities. You may have heard of some of them. Brown University is there, University of Rhode Island is there, RISD, the Rhode Island School of Art and Design is over there. And again, Providence being its capital city, still available with these kind of industry-wide opportunities. And luckily also for us, for example, in Boston, Providence is not far from Boston. So sometimes students will also be able to take advantage of what maybe Boston offers in terms of experiential learning and other opportunities that may be available for you. I'm going to hand it now over to my colleague Andrews, who I think will continue with the states.
Thanks so much, Rafi. Good evening, everyone. Super excited to be here. My name is Andrew Sikwas, and I am the Associate Director for International Recruitment at the University of Maine. I'm originally from Europe, but I lived here in Maine for 22 years now, and I have a personal connection to Canada and Canadian people. My wife is originally from Nova Scotia, and obviously we have family there, so we often make the trips. Probably not as often as we would like to, given the pandemic restrictions. But of course, now things are improving, so we're super excited to continue our connection with Nova Scotia and Canada in general. Um, and so yeah, so I'll start with I will be presenting three of the neighboring states to Canada: Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. And there's definitely some similarities in all three states that are not super populated. So I'll start with my home state, state of Maine. And as I mentioned, we have about 1.3 million people here, so not one of those super populated states. And we are proud to be number one safest state in the United States. That we have kind of an achievement that we have had for many years. And being an immigrant myself, I can confirm that people here are very welcoming and friendly environment. Kind of a nice way to study and visit for vacation, which is another affectionate term that is often associated with Maine, is known as vacation land. That a lot of people in the Northeast tend to spend their summers here. So with that, of course, Maine is lots of stunning natural beauty, year-round outdoor adventures, skiing, different hiking trails and things like that. So for those of you who appreciate that type of environment, I think Maine is a good place to consider. Of course, as I mentioned, I represent the University of Maine, so it's kind of in the theme of my state having the top quality high schools, colleges, and universities. Not as many as in Massachusetts and New York, of course, but there's still some good pockets of schools and programs that might be of interest to you. World-class research in engineering and marine sciences. That is something that really attracted me as a professional to come to work at the University of Maine and promote studying here. Is the focus on the climate change problems and engineering, marine sciences. One of the most exciting projects that my university has been working on is offshore wind power project that we're building a barge to put all the wind turbines out into the ocean, and that is something that has been going on for almost a decade now, and that project is now approaching completion. So, we're very excited and looking forward to that as it might be, a game changer for our energy needs around the world. Marine sciences, of course, a lot of research in that area. And of course, Maine is famous for lobsters. Black bears is another, kind of well-known um, association with Maine. Key industries include forest products. Of course, Maine, lots of forests here. We do a lot of brainstorming about how to utilize that material in different ways, sustainable, in different green type of energy related ways. Life sciences, so again, also quite a few large hospitals here, where students can do internships and get experience as they prepare for their careers after graduation. Marine aquaculture, food aquaculture, outdoors recreation is something as well that are key for our state. Um, and yeah, UMaine is also a Division I school, and we have the basketball, the ice hockey, the field hockey that has quite a few Canadian students there as well. So we're very proud to have quite a few exceptional Canadian athletes on our teams. And so I hope some of you will consider as well. We are also proud to be a home for the world's largest 3D printer that we use different polymer materials that are primarily wood product based. So actually just a month ago, we printed a first in the world 3D biohome that was made entirely out of wood byproducts that my university used to kind of create this material that is recyclable and sustainable for different needs. So with that, we'll continue to our neighbor, New Hampshire. And also very similar to Maine in a sense, similar population, 1.3 million as well. The largest city being Manchester and capital and Concord. And New Hampshire is known as one of the most educated states in the country. It also boasts a nationally ranked community and private college system. And the recreational activities include skiing, hiking, mountain climbing, again, very similar to my home state, state of Maine. It is also home of the Mount Washington. You might have heard about this mountain here. It's the tallest mountain in the Northeast, and it is also the windiest place in the North America. And I can confirm from my personal experience, having made the trip over there. I didn't climb it. I drove up there. There's a road there, so um, it was very windy up there. It's not a place to hang around. Diverse education institutions offer strong academics. Of course, the University of New Hampshire is the biggest school and probably most well known, and offers strong academics. So kind of a nice mix of nature and also close proximity to major metropolitan hubs like Boston. Perhaps the most famous kind of notion about New Hampshire is the tax-free shopping. So that's something that I think a lot of us in the Northeast enjoy. When we need to make some major purchases, New Hampshire is on a lot of our kind of minds to check that out. So with that, I'll continue to Vermont. And Vermont is probably the least populated state in the Northeast, with only about 600,000 people there. Largest city being Burlington, and the capital Montpelier. It is known as the Green Mountain State. Again, the reason being is that it is over 70% covered by forests. So again, very green, all the New England states, and then also traditional New England architecture, which are red bricks usually. Rich mountain, valley, and lake ecosystems create a good environment for conducting various types of research related to those types of areas. And then top tier ranked state in terms of health and safety, kind of in the same theme as Maine and New Hampshire, where the communities are smaller and so therefore more kind of connected and safer. It is known also as leader in innovative environmental practices and green technologies. Again, kind of in the very same theme as in all three states. And one fun fact is that it has the most colleges per capita in the USA. So that's kind of, I think, completes our overview of the Northeast, and I hope we will see some of you at the booth, at our booth. And University of Maine offers some application fee waivers, so hope to see you there. And this is our kind of full names and emails. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to hear from you. I think we have some good questions here in the chat. So maybe Abdul, would you be able to facilitate the Q&A?
Yes, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go.
All right. I think I'm actually in it right now, so maybe I'll start us off here.
Okay.
One of the people in the audience was asking if we knew of any schools that offers a good dentistry program for Canadian students.
Well,
Um,
I mean, sorry.
all right, Rafi.
No, I
Go
was
ahead.
going to say, at least from my perspective, I mean, one of the things I hope I'm not sounding too professorial, condescending, things like that. But one of the things sometimes is confusing is the fact that, like I believe in Canada, dental school, going to dental school would be a graduate program. It's a doctorate program. So you first have to get your pre-dental major, which usually it's something in the areas of biology, biochemistry, and I mean, it really can be anything you want, but you have to go through your pre-dental program. In the city of Boston, for example, there's really only two dental schools. Tufts University has one, and Boston University has one. So upon finishing a solid bachelor's degree with all the proper health sciences and biology courses that dental schools require, you're welcome to then apply to a dental school of your choice. It's of course extremely competitive, highly competitive. It's not easy to always get into your first choice of a dental school, but that's kind of how the system works within the United States. Andrews, I don't know if you have other experiences that you can maybe share about that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to emphasize, Rafi, is that most students looking to become dentists go through this pathway of completing a bachelor's degree in a pre-dental type of program. So it could be biology or different type of kind of related type of major that has that make sure that you complete all the prerequisites required for the dental for the graduate application for the dental school. I think in Maine there's a few schools that offers this program, but it's not something that my university offers. How about you, Abdul?
So in the CUNY system, as I mentioned, there are a bunch of senior colleges that consist the CUNY system. So look up Hunter College has an excellent undergrad programs in biology, in sciences, and chemistry, and they actually have their own dentistry track. And then if you wanted to increase your budget and say, listen, I want to go to Columbia's, NYU's, or the Stony Brooks, then that the price tag goes up. But they have been known for excellent dentists and other specialties, right? So NYU, Columbia, Stony Brook, great medical schools. But if you want to be budget friendly, CUNY, Hunter College, be a good suggestions.
All right. So next question we have here is let's see. We have a question about studying. If we could talk about studying in a science major. So I think a lot of our universities, what we focus on is experiential learning. So it involves not just kind of theoretical learning, but also hands-on. So a lot of labs, a lot of kind of hands-on type of courses and activities that students get involved with. So yeah, I think that's kind of my comment here. How about you, Abdul?
For someone that wants to science major, what I'm going to say is you have to be dedicated and you have to be willing to put in the extra time after classes, right? Oftentimes, science majors, you have to know your professors. Try to spend time outside of the classwork by attending open houses, info sessions, get additional information, and then one thing a lot of science major don't often do enough is reaching out to the Magner Career Center. I would highly encourage you guys as soon as your first year, second year, go seek the career service guidance. Start to have them connect you with someone that's in the science. Well, it could be a science major that's a senior right now, or it could be someone that just graduated and doing something that you want to do. That would give you insight into what those people had to do over the past 3 years, 4 years to get to the position that they're in. So yeah, a lot of dedication, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of studying. But ultimately, if your heart and passion is there, you're gonna be fine.
I'll just add one thing, if you don't mind, Rafi. So I think speaking from a international student perspective myself, I think what really separates the education at the university in the United States and Northeast in general, I think the level of support services that is available to students, and as Abdul mentioned, it's important to actually seek out and engage with those services. But they are available at all of our universities, where students can get this individualized advising and serve, kind of helping to connect with the different opportunities that are available at the university, or at a different university that's perhaps partnering with the university that you're in. So yeah, that is the to me the biggest kind of difference, myself personally, but also just from working with international students. That's what I hear the most, is how much they appreciate all the support that they get, and having the kind of advising and the individualized kind of plans that they're able to work with somebody who's experienced and connected in the field. With that, looks like we have some questions here about athletics. So baseball program. So I'll just speak real quickly. UMaine does have a strong Division 1 baseball program, and usually from and looks like there's another question about softball. So I'll just kind of combine those two questions. The one thing that I always kind of start with when these kind of questions come up is that you need to be proactive, and you need to start early. Usually, our coaches, scout and recruit athletes when they are, in 10th grade or something like that. Having a good highlight video of your skills, and connecting with the coaching staff, letting them know you're interested, and letting them know what kind of skills you bring to the table, I think is the best approach. So it's very competitive. Division 1 is always no matter which sport, you'll be facing a good a good number of competitions. So start early, and communicate to with the coaches to let them know about your interest. How about you, Abdul?
If you are not up for a D1 challenge at Andrews Institution, come find us at a D3. We're not as competitive, but we still get it done, right? We're still here to win as well. CUNY has excellent sports teams, i.e., baseball. Brooklyn College specifically has a strong baseball and a softball team as well. If you want me to connect you with the coaches, as Andrew has mentioned, I'm more than happy to do that. Send me an email. Let me know, hey, Aziz, we spoke at the Education USA presentation. Can you connect me with the coach? More than happy to do that. And from there on, if you become a superstar, all I need is a front row ticket. That's it. Nothing else. More than
All
happy to
right.
do guys with the coaches.
Thanks, Abdul. So it looks like we lost Rafi here due to technical issues. So apologies for that.
He's also
Um,
in Madrid right now too, guys. So super appreciative of Rafi joining us at 1 a.m. from there.
yeah, he didn't mention that himself, but he is joining us from Spain, and so it's about 1:30 there in the morning. So oh no, 1 o'clock. So thanks so much, Rafi, for joining us. If you can hear us, and looks like I think we kind of answered the questions in general. I think it's obviously a lot of details. So hopefully you'll be able to join us at our booth, so we can talk a little bit more details, and we would love to do so. So I do see there's one last question here about pursuing English Lit major, and so I'll just start real quick. UMaine's famous alum is Stephen King. So, since you're interested in literature, you probably have heard of him. And he's actually lives not too far from my house. So, sometimes I get to see him. But yeah, I mean, some quality professors that are passionate in this field at University of Maine, and I'm sure that's similar at Suffolk and Brooklyn College as well.
Thank you so much for the great information, everybody. So, the next steps, so many of you are excited to learn what universities have your major. So, what you're going to do after this session is when it closes, you're going to be back out in the main area, and you're going to see a label at the top that says booths. And when you click on booths, you're going to see 21 universities and Education USA. And you can click on any of these booths. When you scroll to the bottom, you'll see a table. And at that table, you can speak to somebody directly and ask them about your major and what it's like at that university. So Abdul, Andreas, Rafi, they're all going back to their tables, as well as you can explore some of the other ones I mentioned in the chat that are here today. So we hope that you take advantage of that. We're going to wrap up the session. You have 30 minutes to go talk to people before the next webinars. Let's give a round of applause to our presenters. You can use the emojis on the bottom. Thank you, everybody, and have a great next hour.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you, Janika. Thank you, Andrews.